Good day everyone, I am Husnia Makasimbar and today we are diving into transformative approach for our L129 Teaching and Assessment of Grammar course. Often, grammar is taught in a bubble as a set of isolated rules and worksheets that students struggle to apply once they leave the classroom. But what if we shifted our perspective? Today, we will explore how can we move from the classroom bubble to a community hub by integrating project-based learning or PBL and community partnerships. We will discuss how authentic real-world challenges can turn grammar from a dry subject into a powerful tool for community impact and professional communication. So let's begin. So hi everyone, today we are going to talk about fundamental shift in how we think about the classroom. We are moving from the classroom bubble to the community hub. We are exploring project-based learning or PBL and community partnerships. So think about the time you learned something you actually used. It probably wasn't from a worksheet. It was likely because you were solving a real problem. So that's what we're aiming for here. That's what we're aiming for here. So what is PBL? It is more than just doing a project at the end of a unit. It is the unit. Instead of learning facts then doing a project, students learn through the project. It is inquiry-driven. So for example, in a traditional class, you study the laws of physics. In PBL, you might be tasked by a local architect to design a sustainable tiny house for the homeless. So traditional learning often feels like a preparing for life. PBL is life. The gold standard framework. Here, PBL works identifies 7 essential elements. The two most important for our discussion are authenticity and public product. So if the project only lives on a teacher's desk, it's not truly PBL. It needs to breathe in the real world. Why community partnerships? Partnerships are the secret sauce. They provide expert feedback that a teacher might not have. So they provide context, the why behind the lesson, and most importantly, they provide soft skills. You cannot fake a professional meeting with a CEO. So look at these numbers. Research consistently shows that student engagement doubles when there's a community partner involved. Why? Because the stakes are real. Students don't want to look unprepared in front of a professional. Community benefits. Here, it is a two-way street. We are not just asking for favors. Companies get fresh ideas. I've seen students solve the tech bugs that seasoned pros overlook because they approach it with a beginner's mind. So let's proceed to the real-world example about environmental. So let's look at a concrete example. An 11th grade chemistry class partnered with the city water department. They didn't just test water in a beaker. They tested the actual runoff from local storm drains. Their data was so compelling that the city council actually changed park paving requirements to prevent future runoff. So you imagine the pride those students felt seeing a city law change because of their chemistry lab. The life cycle. How do we start? It begins with discovery. You find a local need, then you engage. The partner doesn't need to be there every day. Maybe they just visit twice, wants to kick off the project and wants to give feedback on prototypes. For my fellow educators, this requires letting go. You move from being the sage on the stage to the guide on the side. You are not the only source of knowledge anymore. The community is. I'll leave you with this. When students realize their work matters to someone beyond their teacher, they stop working for a grade and start working for an impact.